European allies France and Italy are at loggerheads. The relationship has been so strained in more than 7 decades. France recalled its ambassador to Italy last night. This is the first withdrawal of a French envoy to Rome since the Second World War. What was the trigger? Verbal attacks from Italy's political leaders. Both the Deputy Prime Ministers of Italy, Luigi Di Maio of the Five Star Movement, and the far-right Matteo Salvini. They have both criticized the French president in recent months. Both leaders have hit out at President Macron over a range of issues, from immigration to the Yellow Vest protests. Di Maio took this one step further. A Deputy Prime Minister of Italy met with leaders of the Yellow Vest movement of France. No wonder Paris is angry.
Ça fait depuis plusieurs mois l'objet d'accusations répétées, d'attaques sans fondement de la part de 2 membres du gouvernement italien,
les 2 vice-présidents du Conseil italien,
et M. Salvini. Il y a eu un appel à voter contre le président, à soutenir un mouvement des Gilets jaunes, à mettre en cause l'action de la France en Afrique. Et puis il y a eu la venue de M. Di Maio en France. Et quand un ministre d'un gouvernement étranger se rend en France,
France says the recall is temporary. It was needed to make Italy realize its mistake. But the implications may be far-reaching. The situation has led to tensions between the two traditionally close allies.
On a rappelé notre ambassadeur pour avoir une consultation. Ça n'est pas un rappel permanent. Il était important de marquer le coup parce que d'abord l'Italie est un partenaire et est un allié historique de la France. Et puis c'est aussi un des pays fondateurs.
Italy's 32-year-old Deputy Prime Minister Di Maio has defended his meeting with the Yellow Vest leaders. He said the Five Star Movement is ready to help the French protesters. He has accused France of fueling Europe's immigration crisis. It's a statement that has ruffled many feathers in Paris.
E il fatto che Di Maio e che il Movimento 5 Stelle, forza politica di maggioranza in Italia, abbiano incontrato alcuni esponenti di una forza politica di opposizione in Francia non ha alcuna stranezza o non rappresenta alcun tipo di pressione al governo francese. Loro sono alleati in Europa con partiti di opposizione in Italia. È strano questo, dovremmo contestare il fatto che Macron sia alleato con partiti di opposizione.
Italy's deputy prime ministers have even called upon French voters to defeat President Macron and vote for opposition leader Marine Le Pen in the upcoming European election. President Macron's government is struggling to deal with the dissent and agitation. It has enacted special laws to identify and arrest individual protesters. They will not be allowed to wear a face mask, according to the new law. That's how much the Yellow Vest protest has hurt the French government. The force of their reaction betrays the impact. For a foreign government then to fuel such protests would be unacceptable to any president. Mr. Macron is no different. But here's the thing. President Macron must practice what he preaches. Does France have the moral right to ask Italy to not interfere into its internal protests, when France itself does the same? President Macron has not only interfered in the crisis in Venezuela, he has even picked sides. Like the Yellow Vest protesters, the protesters against President Maduro of Venezuela are not elected representatives. Shouldn't France then keep out of it? Let's now come to Italy. Why is Italy wading into the troubled waters in Paris? It is a cocktail of politics and real grievances. Italy's coalition government has different parties, and these parties have different priorities. They're divided on Venezuela, they're divided on the Yellow Vest movement, but they're united in their anger against President Macron of France. 3 reasons for that. 1, France's policy of returning migrants to Italy. 2, occasional border checks at the frontier. And 3, France protecting 15 Italian leftists for decades. Legitimate grievances, some would say. This support for Yellow Vest movement from Italy's power centre and France's overreaction to withdraw its envoy from Italy threatens to raise tensions in Europe, something that the continent could do without right now. There's a worrying spike in the strain of influenza virus called swine flu or H1N1 in India. More than 200 swine flu deaths have been reported this year alone. Doctors believe that the numbers may be much higher as many cases go unreported. Nagin Singh has more.
Viruses are multiplying in the bitter cold of North India. Swine flu cases have spiraled in the states of Rajasthan, Delhi and Haryana. According to data from the National Centre for Disease Control, Rajasthan is the worst affected state with 2,263 cases and 85 deaths this year. The heavily populated Delhi has registered 1,011 cases. Swine flu cases have come to light in Gujarat, Haryana and other states as well. In all, India has recorded almost 6,700 swine flu cases and 226 deaths this year. The numbers may in fact be higher.
Hospital, in my OPDs, I must have treated about 50 to 60 patients we have treated, out of which about 17 or 18 had to be admitted. So, like, even I've treated this much. So imagine, I'm a physician with a very small hospital, so then there are bigger hospitals, so how much they must have treated. But we are reporting it. Obviously, we are reporting to the MCD, so the actual numbers you'll get once they compile all these numbers, so then we'll get it. But it's actually an epidemic this time.
Doctors say that the elderly, newborn, children and adults under 25 are at higher risk. A contagious disease, swine flu gets transmitted usually when an infected person sneezes or coughs. Those infected thus get treated in complete isolation.
Whereas the treatment is concerned, and this is nothing to fear about, so you just have to be very good with your mask, and you have to avoid a lot of public places at these times because it's really epidemic this time.
Swine flu made headlines first in 2009 when it affected people in many countries. The symptoms include headache, fever, runny nose, cough and muscle pain.
Such fears may become worse as the number of swine flu infections are expected to rise through fall. The virus is expected to be the prevalent strain through this flu season. Only time will tell if these fears are justified. With video journalist Kapil in New Delhi, Nagen Singh for Wion, World is One.